Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will start a new chapter from history, that is chapter number 9, challenging the caste system. So let's get started. In ancient India, society was divided into four castes. These classifications were based on the division of work in society, but later on, caste became permanent and one could not change one's caste. In the subsequent years, members belonging to the higher caste began ill treating people belonging to the lower caste, and gradually it became ingrained as a social practice. People belonging to the lower caste were denied education. The learned class started taking advantage and propounded the theory that birth and caste had to do with one's past life and the sin committed in that life. So, for ages, they were deprived of all dignity and privileges. Before we proceed further, let's know who are the lower caste. People who have been marginalized form the lower caste. They are often referred to by different names like Dalits, Harijans, and Sudras. Today, they are known as the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes. Scheduled tribes include people living in a certain area cut off from the mainstream society, generally in forests and hills with their own ways of life and norms. They live in close link with nature. These people are termed as scheduled tribe by the government. This was with the intention of protecting these groups of people from being exploited and to preserve their natural resources, which were vital for their sustenance. On the other hand, the scheduled caste are the part of a society or community which were considered untouchables. For centuries, the caste system had been exploitative in nature with the deliberate aim of dominating the untouchables by the upper class. This equation or treatment started being questioned with the coming of the British, but the most significant reason was the introduction of the Western system of education, which made Indians acquainted with the concept of equality, liberty, and freedom as the inalienable rights of every individual, man, woman, or child. So, educated Indians started movements in the country to free themselves of foreign rule and to fight the evils of caste system. With the rise of industries and the coming of railways, the caste identity could not be maintained as people had to brush shoulders against each other on their way to the workplace. The rise of industrial towns further aggravated the trend as new economic activities were open to the peoples. With the rise of the national movement in India, some leaders realized that participation of all Indians was imperative if India had to succeed in her plans of overthrowing the British. So, in this chapter, we will look at some of the movements which played a big role in bringing the depressed classes into the national movement. This ushered in a sense of fellow feeling among all Indians. Mahatma Gandhi is one of the greatest reformers who fought against the caste system. He made the removal of untouchability a part of his constructive program. As a practitioner of ahimsa, Mahatma Gandhi sought to speak the truth and advocated that others do the same. Gandhiji set up the Sabarmati Ashram in Gujarat in the year 1915. People of all castes were welcomed to this ashram. He started a nationwide campaign against untouchability. He started a paper called the Harijans, whose core focus was to educate the upper caste to give up untouchability. In 1932, he organized the Harijan Sevak Sangh to organize activities for the untouchables like opening access to public wells, roads, schools, temples, and cremation ground. He toured different parts of India to spread awareness among the people on the importance of realizing and accepting the fact that all Indians are equal. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was born into a lower caste family. Having personally experienced discrimination, he spent his whole life in working for the upliftment of the lower caste. Ambedkar formed All India Depressed Classes Federation so that the voice of the depressed classes were heard. He wrote extensively about upper caste power in contemporary society. He launched a newspaper, Mok Nayaka, which means leader of the silent. He also formed a Bahiskrit Hitkarni Sabha and Akhil Bharatiya Dalit Varg Sabha to fight against caste oppression. Jyotiba Phule was one of the most vocal leader among the low caste. He set out attack the Brahmins' claim that they were superior to others. Jyotiba Phule believed that enlightenment of women and people belonging to the lower caste was the only solution to combat the social evils. In 1848, he, along with his wife, started a school for girls. He campaigned against the authoritarianism of the upper caste people. He urged the people of the lower caste to defy the restriction imposed upon them. In 1873, Jyotiba Phule wrote a book called Gulamgiri. In this book, he criticized the various forms of inequalities that existed in our society. In the same year, he formed the Satya Sodhak Samaj, Society of Seekers of Truth. The purpose of Satya Sodhak Samaj was to liberate the people of lower caste from the suppressions of the Brahmins. The membership was open to all, and the available evidence proved that some Jews were also admitted as members. M.G. Ranade, Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade, along with Ramakrishna Bandharkar, were among the most important members of the Prarthna Samaj. This movement tried to reform the prevailing condition of child marriage. It also spoke the cause of widow remarriage and abolition of caste system. It also advocated the spread of modern education and was all for the strengthening of Hindu-Muslim unity. He was one of the founders of the Widow Marriage Association in 1861. Though Ranade valued India's history, he also recognized the influence that British rule over India had on its development. K. Veerasalingam was a social reformer of Andhra Pradesh. He was born in an orthodox Nyogi Telugu Brahmin family. He is widely considered as the man who first brought about a renaissance in Telugu people and Telugu literature. He was influenced by the ideas of Brahmo Samaj, particularly those of Keshav Chandra Sen. He got involved in the cause of social reforms. In 1876, he started a Telugu journal and wrote the first posts for women. He propagated the cause of the lower caste and encouraged education for women and widow remarriage. He started a school in Dhauleshwaram in 1874. He also started a social organization called Hitakarini, that means benefactors. Periyaar, EVR, started the self-respect movement. Through this movement, he instilled in the people the need to develop self-respect and self-confidence. He also started a political party called Dravidia Kazhagam. The literal meaning means Union of Dravidians or South Indians. The main focus of this party was to champion the cause of the Dravidians and the socially backward caste. Since independence, the scheduled caste and tribes have benefited by the reservation policy. This policy was made an integral part of the Constitution by the efforts of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. The Constitution lays down general principles for the policy of affirmative action for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. The Scheduled Caste and Tribes Act 1989 was enacted by the Parliament of India, Act 33 of 1989, to prevent aristocratic against scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Article 17 of the Indian Constitution abolished untouchability and its practiced in any form. Today, the people of the depressed classes are equal participants in all activities of nation buildings. In present day India, every individual matters and everyone is counted as a key stakeholders in the progress of our nations. With this, chapter number 9 comes to an end. Thank you.